Hey everybody, welcome to Mistakes Were Made. We are at the dining room table today and we are about to do our cash stuffing for the first pay period of April. That is going to cover the 1st through the 15th. We're also going to do a little bit of cleanup for the last pay period of March where we fill the, sinking funds that we funded with leftover income after we closed out or verified our budget. So this is kind of a dual role sort of thing. I am trying to modulate my voice just a little bit because it is in the early afternoon and Mr. M has come home from his night shift and is sleeping, so I'm trying to make sure I don't make too much noise. Hopefully I'm still, able to be heard and it's not too low, so I'll try and keep an eye on that. But let's jump in and get started. And we'll start with seeing what we're working with. So we've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 50, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 800, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. $897 is what we are working with. I'm not sure if this view is like expansive enough, so let's see what I can do. Wrong way. Okay. Well, I guess we'll leave it at that. All right, so first things first, where are we going? We're going to look at our sinking funds. Not every sinking fund gets funded during every pay period, so AAA does not. We're going to skip that. Birthdays, however, does get... No, birthdays is the second pay period one. My bad. You would think after doing this for 18 months I'd have it completely memorized, but every now and then I do have a brain fart. Car maintenance, on the other hand, that is definitely one we fund. Now it normally gets $100, but car maintenance is one of the 4 categories in the sinking fund, or 4 subcategories in the sinking fund category that we are putting money towards at the end of each pay period if there is money available. And so it, along with the other 3, will get $33. So we'll take 20, 10, and 1, 2, 3 ones. So let's see where that puts us. Oh, crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. Woo, I'm just throwing things all over the place. All right, I've got a 20 to slide in there, 10. All right, so we have 100, 200, 300, 50, 70, 90, 410, 420, 421, 22, 23. $423. Is that right? I'm just doing a little math on the calculator. Yes. Okay, for some reason it didn't feel right, but I need to trust my math skills a little bit better, I suppose. Today is the 2nd of April. I said 23. Oh, Lordy. Y'all, I'm struggling. I am struggling. All right, first one down. Okay, next We do have Christmas. All of these are getting kind of venti in this container, and it's kind of annoying. So I don't know if I'm going to have to figure out something else or what. Christmas gets $25. So we'll have a 20 and a 5. And we are now at 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 5, 60, 5, 70, 175. So we're moving right along with that particular goal. Okay, we do not fund clothing during this pay period or the Costco run. We do, however, fund Dine Out, which gets $50, so that'll be 2 20s and a 10. This is one that we actively use, and we don't typically have anything left over. If we did have something left over, as a general rule, we are disseminating it into one of the other funds rather than rolling that money over. Maybe we'll think about changing that policy, but for right now, that works for us. Next, we have entertainment, which also gets $50, so 2 20s and a 10. So, open that up just a little bit there. There we go. And along the same lines as entertainment and dining out, but with a little, a little bit fewer restrictions, is the fun category. It is a new category that we've kind of reintroduced. We had a very, very small time period where we did have some money that we put into fun that we funded. I don't remember if it was in 2023 or in 2024. And I'll be honest, I can't remember what exactly funded it. It might have been a bonus that Mr. M got, but it was retired pretty quickly. But it is back, and it is one of the areas that one of the categories we are funding with any money that is left over at the end of a pay period. So fun gets $64. And you'll notice that when I did our first stuffing with this, there had been something else on here and I peeled it off. I can't remember what the note that was on there, but I didn't need it, so I peeled it off, and unfortunately it retained its stickiness and it was driving me nuts. So I was looking through our junk drawer and I found these little stickers that I had bought, and it reminded me of some of my employees, because that's who I bought the stickers for. It was I don't know how we had gotten on the subject, but we were talking about being in grade school and things like that, and how when we did well, we got little encouraging stickers and things like that. And man, wouldn't it be nice as adults if people would give us happy stickers when we did a good job. And so trying to be a good supervisor, I immediately went online to look for some affirming stickers. And so the next time we were sending out production reports or things like that, I started affixing little stickers on them so folks knew that they were doing a good job, and we all had a great laugh. The downside was, of course, I could only buy them in a big huge roll, so now I have just a ton of them and nothing to use them on, but that's okay. So for now they are covering the sticky area so that I do not get annoyed every time I grab this, because fun is supposed to be fun. So anyway, we are going to add $64 to this. So 20, 40, 60, and 1, 2, 3, 4, puts us at 100, 200, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So $408. Now, we did use some cash from this when we did an outing. It wasn't this past weekend. It was an unexpected, beautiful, beautiful day. I want to say it was on a Thursday. It was just like in the 70s. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. And so we decided to take a kind of quick road trip down southish in Oregon, past Eugene, just a little bit. These cities are going to mean nothing to you if you don't know Oregon. And then we headed towards the coast. And our first stop was the Dean Creek, I believe is what is called, Elk Refuge. We had talked about going there before, and with it being such a lovely day, we figured, hey, why not do it today? So we went out there, and like boneheads, oh my goodness, we forgot to bring our go bag. So we have a backpack that has, hand sanitizer, it has some little towels, it has a first aid kit, it's got toilet paper, it has bug spray, lotion, allergy medicine. I think it has aspirin in it. It might not. That might be one of the things that we keep thinking we need to put on our list and keep forgetting. Like hand wipes. Gosh, what else do we have in there? I think we have an extra pair of socks for both of us. And I want to get 2 knit hats to put in there as well. Binoculars. Just, we're trying to make it be a bag that has everything you could possibly need if you're going out and about. And I'd really like to make 2 of them so that we could have one in each car. But for now, we've had this one, and we've been pretty good about grabbing it when we're going to go and do something where we might feel like we'll need something like that. If we're doing, just a coast drive, and the intent is just to go and sit on the beach or whatever, we typically wouldn't bring it for something like that. But if we're going hiking, or if the point is to see wildlife and stuff like that, then of course we'll bring that. And especially if we're going to be out in the woods and using like the porta potty things, or even the dedicated public restrooms that they have at some of the state parks and things like that, then we want to bring it just so that we can be prepared. But we managed to bring everything except for that. So when we got there, we kind of looked at each other like, oh, oops, because the elk were like 1,000,000 miles away, so you could barely see them. So that was a little bit disappointing. But the drive there was lovely, so, now we have another reason to go there again, and hopefully that time we'll remember to bring the binoculars. And then to conclude kind of the trip, we made it a loop, and we headed all the way over to the coast, down into, I think it was Waldport is where the particular road it's on links to Highway 101, and then we went up the coast and came home kind of our normal way when we're on doing a coast drive, so Highway 18 and stuff like that. So it was a lovely, lovely day, but we did forget a crucial piece of things. The whole point of that story was we did grab $40 out of here, and for incidentals and things like that, and we ended up not using the entire amount. I think we only used $36, $32, something like that. But that is one of the reasons why we want to keep things in cash. And I'm thinking what we might actually do is take these once we're done and see where we can parse out $20 bills to deconsolidate, so we can easily grab, you know, $20 or $40 and not have $100 that might be too tempting to spend all at once. So yes, that's where we are. $408 saved up there. Garden and yard, we do not fund this pay period. Gas, we do, and it gets $5,100. Gifts, we do not fund this pay period, but giving gets $5. So grab that. There we go. And we've got $5, $10, $15, $20. Oh, why did I do that? There we go. 4-2. Oh, I did want to say, even though we skipped it, especially since grocery is up here, the Costco process seems to be working out pretty well. We have been making sure we're limiting our spending in Costco to just the $100 that we're funding each month. And if we don't utilize it all, then of course we are rolling it over, and then it's, you know, certainly free for us to use any extra that is in the envelope. But so far it seems to be going well. We, you know, our usual is kitty litter, eggs if they have them, and then meat. And we bought 2 of those long pork roast loin things, pork loin things again, because they were a nice price. And I think we ended up with 22, you know, decently thick pork loin chops after I cut the one down. We got one that was a little bit longer, and that one's the one that we made our little chops with. And then the one that was a little bit fatter, we cut that into thirds so that we would have 3 good sized pork loin roast things. I think they were each, what did he have me do? I think we were making them 8 inches in length, roughly 7 or 8 inches long. So very much happy that we made that decision to get the Costco membership, especially since we were able to not spend our money to do it. We used Christmas money that we received, and that we are getting good benefit from that. All right, grocery gets $200. Now we do still have $100 in here. That is for this week, and that is because March was a magic month for groceries, because we count it by Mondays, however many Mondays in a month. So that Monday's $100 is here, and we will be spending it on Thursday, which is tomorrow, and then the next 2 weeks in April we have just funded. There we go. All right, now health is normally getting $15. So we've got our 10 and our 5, but it is also, oh, this one's brokey. It is also one that is part of our extra funding at the end of the pay period. So it is going to get 20, 30, 1, 2, 3 extra dollars. What the heck is this? Oh, the Where's George stuff. I used to do this when I would find them every now and then, but I really haven't done it in forever. So I'm gonna put this really nice and close If anybody wants to go log this into Where's George, I guess it would skew the data since maybe multiple people now say that they've seen it or received it. Oops. Oh well. Sorry, folks. I've messed up your game. I apologize. All right. I think I might need to get a little piece of tape to try and tape that down. I can never remember if taping stuff is supposed to be considered illegal. I know if it's like fairly badly damaged, you're supposed to take it to the bank so that they can get you a nice fresh one, and the damaged one can be destroyed. But anyway, so for help, it'd probably help if I got what else is in here out. Here I am acting like we got nothing else up our sleeves. Okay, so we have 100, 50, 70, 90, 210, 220, 230, 40, 55, 56, 57, 58, $258. Well, let's do that. Okay. There we are. Which, you know, we're slowly starting to build this up, which makes me very, very happy. I feel like we're easing out of kind of the sickness time of year, but every now and then when the weather starts to change, I know that I tend to get a spring cold or whatever there is, and it's nice to have things set aside, so if you need to get meds or whatever, you're hopefully at least partially prepared. All right, now household, we typically would not be funding during this pay period, but it does get, it is on the list for things to get that extra little boost, so we are going to be adding the regular that we've been hearing, $33. I've got a cat here at my feet who keeps wandering by my legs, probably hoping that I'll reach down and pet her, but sorry, sweetie, I am in the middle of doing this. Oh no, it's actually not Cece, it is Percy. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I think we all know, not just me, but the people watching, that you are not supposed to be on the table. Yeah. Why don't we pick this up later, kiddo? There you go. Thank you. All right, so we are at 150, 70, 90, 210, 220, 221, 222, 223. Is that right? 150, 70, 90, 210, 220, 223. Yes. 4, 2. Okay. There we go. And I lost my little envelope. My goodness, kitty, you got me all catawampus. At least I crack myself up. All right, we do fund licenses. They get $11. And so we'll do 10 and then a 1. And we are at 50. 50, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. So $141. Okay. We've got about 6 more pay periods till we get to our stopping point of $200. All right, nothing from miscellaneous. Pets, on the other hand, we are funding, and it gets $125, but it also gets 31, 32, $33 as the last of the sinking funds, individual sinking funds that we fund at the end of the pay period. So we'll put that there. I guess I should just get all what we have out. We did have some costs come through because we ended up getting some of those chews that are supposed to be for, you know, gut health and whatnot for Mr. Murphy. So we're gonna, what am I doing? I don't know. Don't ask me. I haven't the faintest idea. There we go. So we're gonna see if they help at all. They were expensive though. And then we're gonna have another cost come out of here because their Chewy order is just about to ship. So that'll be coming through very, very soon. But we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 20, 40, 60, 75, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, $484. 484. Let me count that just again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 60, 475, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4. 484. I don't know if that's, well, actually, let's take a look. That is, it looks like the highest that we've ever had at one time in this envelope. So go figure on that. That is a nice sign. I mean, even if we are going to be reducing it down by, I think, $150 or so within the week. Prime, oh kitty, nope. Your claws hurt. Stop. Thank you. Dude, oh my God, you're bad at listening. Prime we do not do this pay period, but taxes we do, and that gets the last $20. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 30, 40. Oh my goodness, Percy has chosen violence today. He is being a menace, mostly because I'm not paying him enough attention. So luckily we are almost done here. He can be such a pill. All right, so the last thing that we have are our two, I don't know, long-term goal items. Obviously plants, well, the garden season has already been funded. I just wanted to give a little bit of an update. I believe we are down to $274 left. I feel like we've gotten all the soil we need, but we'll have to double check. So at least for right now, we've done pretty well with how we have spent the money that we have saved up. That does mean hopefully we'll have a little bit of extra available for any starts that we might want to purchase, though we're trying really hard to not need those, and hopefully the items that we have started in our house will be sufficient and they'll be healthy and grow and do what we need them to do. But I will be honest, if we go by a nursery or the garden center, every year there's at least one thing we're like, oh, well, we didn't think about this one. Let's grab that and add it. So I'm sure this year will not be any different. So there's that. We also have our yard cleanup update to do. Okay, now as we've mentioned recently, our goal is $2,500. We are currently at $1,789, and we need to add 2 more notations for that. So this is going to cover the $130 that we had for the extra at the end of the pay period that goes to long-term goals. And then next we will do I'm so awkward at these. That's why I don't do them very often. I'm not all dainty and pretty filling in like other people are. All right, so being that this is the first pay period of the month, we will have a transfer of $100 that will go through on the 8th. So we're going to note that now, $100. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that dark of a blue. So if we add this all up, we've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 plus 759 plus 130, which puts us at $1,889. Oops. We have $611 more to go. It's a slow process, but we are getting there. We are getting there for sure. Okay. All right, well, that is the end. I hope you enjoyed watching our cash stuffing. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, please note those down below. I do hope we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.